The North American auto industry is undergoing a seismic shift, one that's redefining the competitive landscape for legacy automakers and new players alike. At the heart of this transformation is Canada, which has rapidly emerged as a critical battleground for the future of the automobile. Once considered merely an extension of the US market, Canada now stands apart, presenting both unique challenges and unprecedented opportunities, largely due to its bold and aggressive electric vehicle policies. At the center of this transformation are industry giants Tesla and Ford. Their evolving strategies in Canada are sending shockwaves through the entire sector, forcing competitors to rethink their own approaches. Canada's firm EV mandate has upended the status quo, introducing a new set of incentives and pressures for automakers. These policies are not just about selling more electric cars, they're about reshaping the entire ecosystem, from manufacturing to infrastructure. For Tesla, this is a golden opportunity to expand its dominance and set the pace for innovation, leveraging its existing strengths in electric mobility and software integration. For Ford, it's a call to rapidly adapt, invest in new technologies and accelerate its transition to electric vehicles, or risk falling behind in a market that's quickly moving forward. The stakes are higher than ever, not just for sales figures, but for the entire supply chain, regulatory compliance, and the long-term competitiveness of automakers across North America. Every decision now carries weight far beyond Canadian borders. The choices made in Canada are shaping the broader industry, serving as a real-world test case for the future of electric mobility and the policies that will drive it. As 2025 draws to a close, the Canadian market has become a high-stakes arena, a proving ground where the future of the auto industry is being fiercely contested and reimagined. The bold moves by Ford and Tesla are sparking a new conversation about production, policy, and the pace of EV adoption, with ripple effects that will be felt throughout the continent. Ultimately, the outcome of this battle will shape not only the cars we drive, but also the companies that build them, and the very future of mobility in North America for years to come. At the heart of Canada's auto upheaval is its ambitious federal EV mandate. Automakers must ensure zero-emission vehicles make up at least 20% of new sales by 2026, with a full ban on new gas and diesel cars by 2035. Those who fall short must buy regulatory credits from competitors who exceed the target, creating a lucrative secondary market. As of mid-2025, EVs make up less than 10% of sales, making the 20% target a daunting leap. Industry leaders call the mandate unrealistic, citing slow consumer demand and limited charging infrastructure. Traditional automakers face a tough choice: ramp up EV sales quickly or pay millions in credits to rivals like Tesla. This policy is forcing a rapid rethinking of product lines, marketing, and investment strategies. The mandate is no longer a distant goal, it's an immediate business reality reshaping the competitive landscape. No company has capitalized on Canada's EV mandate like Tesla. Every Tesla sold in Canada generates surplus regulatory credits, which legacy automakers must buy if they miss their targets. In early 2025 alone, Tesla earned over $400 million from these credits, with projections nearing $600 million for the year. This windfall lets Tesla undercut competitors on price and invest aggressively in new tech and infrastructure. For Ford and GM, it's a bitter pill, paying their top rival for every gas-powered truck or SUV they sell. The credit system has turned Canada into a profit center for Tesla, deepening the competitive divide. As long as the mandate stands and legacy automakers lag, Tesla's advantage will only grow. The battle is no longer just about cars, it's about who controls the rules of the game. While Tesla profits from policy, Ford is making waves on the sales front. The Mustang Mach-E's surge in Canada is eroding Tesla's dominance, even after federal EV incentives ended. Ford's blend of brand power, product appeal, and dealer support is winning over Canadian consumers. Every Mach-E sold helps Ford meet the mandate and reduces payouts to Tesla. Ford's success is a blueprint for legacy automakers: compete on product, not just compliance. The Canadian EV market is now a true two-horse race, with Ford and Tesla locked in fierce competition. The outcome will shape the next phase of the electric vehicle revolution. Canada's ambitious electric vehicle mandate has ignited a firestorm of political debate, not just at home, but across the border in Washington. Former President Trump, eyeing a return to the White House, frames the Canadian policy as a direct threat to American automakers. He's ramping up pressure on Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, demanding a rollback of the mandate and warning of economic consequences if Canada doesn't comply. As a result, trade negotiations between the two countries have hit a wall. Canada is urgently seeking relief from the heavy U.S. tariffs on autos, steel, and aluminum. Tariffs that are costing Canadian industries millions and threatening jobs on both sides of the border. The U.S. has made it clear any new trade deal will depend on Canada softening its electric vehicle stance. This puts Carney in a difficult political position, caught between environmental promises and economic realities. Meanwhile, U.S. automakers and their Canadian allies argue that the mandate unfairly subsidizes Tesla and other EV leaders, putting traditional manufacturers at a disadvantage and threatening thousands of jobs in the process. What started as a climate policy has now escalated into a high-stakes trade dispute with billions of dollars and the future of the North American auto industry hanging in the balance. The outcome could force Canada to make tough choices, either compromise on its climate goals or risk enduring prolonged tariffs that could disrupt the entire North American auto supply chain and impact workers from Ontario to Michigan. This standoff is a vivid example of how national policies can collide with the realities of a deeply interconnected global industry, where decisions in Ottawa and Washington ripple across borders. As both sides weigh their next moves, the outcome could reshape not just trade relations, but the entire future of the continent's auto industry for decades to come. Amid the policy battles, a technological revolution is quietly uniting the industry. By 2025, nearly all major automakers have adopted Tesla's North American Charging Standard, or NACS, as the new plug for EVs. Ford led the charge, triggering a domino effect that saw GM, Hyundai, Volkswagen, and others follow suit. The Society of Automotive Engineers standardized NACS, ending years of confusion over charging compatibility. Now, new EVs, including Ford's Mach-E, can access Tesla's vast supercharger network, leveling the playing field for charging. Even latecomers like Nissan and Honda are on board, making NACS the universal standard by year's end. This shift removes a key Tesla advantage and makes EVs from all brands more practical for Canadian drivers. The charging wars are over. Now the real competition is on the road. Automakers are making tough choices to survive Canada's new reality. Some are limiting sales of profitable gas vehicles to boost their EV ratios and avoid paying Tesla for credits. Investment plans are shifting, with companies like GM pausing battery plant expansions amid uncertain EV demand. At the same time, legacy automakers are banding together to build IANA, a rival charging network aiming for 1,000 sites by year's end. IANA will support both NACS and CCS plugs, ensuring no brand is left behind. The industry is balancing short-term pain with long-term strategy, investing in infrastructure while navigating immediate financial pressures. The battle for charging dominance is far from over, but automakers are determined not to cede the future to Tesla. Adaptation is the name of the game. As 2026 approaches, the North American auto industry faces profound uncertainty and transformation. The landscape is shifting rapidly, with automakers, suppliers, and workers all bracing for major changes that could redefine the future of transportation across the continent. Canada's EV mandate is a critical variable. If it survives U.S. pressure, automakers must accelerate EV sales or pay steep penalties. This policy is pushing companies to rethink their strategies, invest in new technologies, and adapt their product lines faster than ever before. If the mandate is rolled back, legacy automakers get a reprieve, but Tesla loses a key revenue stream. The stakes are high for every player, and the outcome will shape the competitive landscape for years to come. Ford's Mach-E success proves Tesla's dominance isn't guaranteed, and competition is heating up across all EV segments. New entrants and established brands alike are racing to capture market share, driving innovation and pushing boundaries. The adoption of NACS and the rise of networks like IANA are shifting the focus from charging access to product quality and price. As charging infrastructure becomes more reliable and widespread, consumers are starting to prioritize performance, design, and affordability. Consumers stand to benefit from more choices and better technology. With more models and features available, buyers can find vehicles that better fit their needs and lifestyles, making the transition to electric vehicles more appealing. Automakers are being forced to innovate and adapt faster than ever before. The pressure to stay ahead is driving unprecedented investment in research, development, and advanced manufacturing techniques. The industry that emerges will be more competitive, more advanced, and more intertwined with government policy. Collaboration between automakers and policymakers will be essential to navigate this complex transition. The moves made today in Canada are setting the stage for the next era of automotive history, influencing not just the nation, but the entire global industry for years to come.